Overthinking doesn't feel like thinking too much. It feels like trying to figure something out that refuses to settle. A conversation that replays in your head. A decision you keep revisiting. A future scenario that hasn't happened, but feels urgent anyway. You tell yourself to stop. You distract yourself. You try to think it through properly. But the thoughts keep looping. So why do we overthink? And why does our brain cling so tightly to thoughts we want to let go of? Overthinking isn't the same as problem solving. Problem solving moves toward resolution. Overthinking circles around uncertainty. Psychologically, overthinking is a form of cognitive vigilance, your brain scanning for threats, mistakes, or outcomes it hasn't accounted for yet. The goal isn't clarity, the goal is control. Your mind keeps asking, what did I miss? What if I'm wrong? What if this goes badly? Overthinking isn't irrational. It's your brain trying to protect you from uncertainty. The human brain is wired to avoid uncertainty. From an evolutionary perspective, uncertainty meant danger. If you didn't know what was coming, you stayed alert. So when modern life presents uncertainty, in relationships, decisions, identity, or the future, the brain responds the same way. It stays switched on. Overthinking is your brain saying, don't relax yet. We don't have enough information. The problem is, some questions don't have immediate answers, and the brain doesn't like unfinished loops. Overthinking feels productive. It feels like you're doing something useful, but psychologically, it often creates an illusion of control. The brain convinces itself that if it just thinks long enough, replays the moment one more time, or considers one more angle, certainty will appear. But instead of clarity, you get fatigue. Instead of insight, you get paralysis. Overthinking doesn't resolve uncertainty. It keeps you stuck inside it. Overthinking isn't a sign of weakness. It's more common in people who are emotionally aware, empathetic, reflective, conscientious, sensitive to consequences. If you care deeply about outcomes, you're more likely to mentally rehearse them. If you care about how others feel, you're more likely to replay interactions. Overthinking often comes from responsibility, not fragility. The same traits that make someone thoughtful also make their mind harder to switch off. Relationships are one of the biggest triggers for overthinking, because relationships involve emotional risk, ambiguity, attachment, and the possibility of loss. The brain starts scanning for meaning. What did that text really mean? Did I say the wrong thing? Why did their tone change? Overthinking in relationships is often driven by fear of disconnection. The mind tries to anticipate rejection before it happens, so it doesn't feel caught off guard. But in doing so, it creates distress that hasn't actually occurred. Overthinking often intensifies at night.
That's because distractions fade, cognitive fatigue sets in, emotional regulation weakens. When you're tired, your brain loses its ability to filter thoughts. Unanswered questions resurface, worries feel louder, scenarios feel more real. This isn't because the thoughts are more important at night, it's because your mental defenses are lower. Overthinking thrives in anxious and burnt-out systems. When your nervous system is already overstimulated, the brain stays on high alert. Thoughts repeat not because they're unresolved, but because the system doesn't feel safe enough to let them go. Burnout reduces mental flexibility. Anxiety increases threat sensitivity. Together, they trap the mind in loops. Overthinking isn't always about the thought itself. It's about the state of the system generating it. Telling yourself to stop overthinking rarely helps. That's because the brain interprets suppression as importance. When you try not to think about something, your brain checks in repeatedly to see if it's still there. The more you fight a thought, the more attention it receives. Overthinking isn't stopped through force. It eases when the brain feels safe, grounded, and no longer under threat. At its core, overthinking is protective. It's your brain trying to prevent mistakes, avoid pain, maintain control, prepare for the worst. Even when it becomes exhausting, its intention isn't harm. Understanding this matters because self-criticism often fuels overthinking further. The brain can't calm down while it feels under attack. Overthinking doesn't mean you're broken. It means your brain is working overtime to protect you from uncertainty, loss, or regret. It isn't a failure of logic.
It's a response to emotional threat. Clarity doesn't come from thinking harder. It comes from safety, grounding, and resolution over time. When the nervous system calms, the mind follows. Thanks for watching MindLens, where we explore why we think, feel, and act the way we do. Subscribe for more animated psychology explainers.